Good evening, humans, vampires, werewolves, and everything else in between. Before we get into today's audio, this audio has been sponsored by ExpressVPN. Check my link in the description and listen carefully to the entire audio to find out why it's worth only a small portion of the recent money you've probably come into, and how you can even get 3 months free using my link, expressvpn.com/PandastcASMR. But without further ado, I guess I don't know my own powers. They're still out like a light. One would think a bloodsucker would be a lot stronger than a human. But nope. They both fall under the spell of my werewolf charms. All in a day's paid work. You're finally awake. How are you feeling? I've been warned by my boss that when using hypnosis on anyone that isn't human, it tends to be more painful when they come to. Your head must be pounding with a migraine and filled with anger at yourself that you fell right into the arms of a member of your mortal enemies, a werewolf. That's cute. Baring your itty bitty whittle small fangs to me like I'm supposed to be fucking intimidated. What are you gonna do now? Are you gonna hiss at me to death? Are you gonna show me your eyes glowing red again? Please, save your act for the birds. Anyways, you're probably wondering why you aren't able to move even when nothing is touching you and you're just sitting in this comfortable hotel chair. Well, just like you and your kind, I have powers that can make it impossible for anyone to not move when I gaze into their eyes long enough instead of strictly other humans. I can also make them talk as loud or as softly as I want them to. I figured since we wouldn't want to disturb or worry the other humans that are in all directions of us, I made it so you will only be able to talk at the same volume I'm speaking to you at. I know I have a booming voice, but trust me, I know how to work with what I have in every single way. If I wanted to eat you, I would have done it already. Plus, who is to say I didn't already and your body just healed itself? Think about that. Well, let's get introduced to each other. I already know your name, and I'll get to that in a second. My name is Aiden Matthews, and I work for Ilupi Grigi. Yes, the Grey Wolves. What I do is I track down vampires who do a very, very bad job at keeping their existence a secret. The ones who get cocky and think they can walk amongst the humans without a care in the world. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy a free spirit as much as the next person. However, if you slip up and get caught, you may spill the beans about the whereabouts of your kind and my kind. I could not give a fuck about what happens to your kind, but it's my kind I'm worried about, as we sleep in the forests and we are essentially out in the literal open. So, think of my job as the one who corrects misbehaving vampires. And you, my friend, have been a very, very naughty little bloodsucker. Take a closer look at me. Do I look at all familiar? Look closer. Don't you remember seeing my gorgeous face every day for the past 2 weeks? At Starbucks, at GameStop, the mall, and literally everywhere else you ventured out to? Did you ever think it was more than mere coincidence that I was always at the same exact place at the exact same time as you? Thought it was maybe destiny, huh? Two destined lovers that were made for each other until one day sharing a kiss that could put that one scene in The Notebook to shame? Do you remember giving me your number and pretty much every way to contact you? Come on, think really hard. But, not too hard. I wouldn't want you to hurt that pretty little head of yours. There you go. It all makes sense now. I've always been closer to you than you may have thought. And how we ended up here was just having you fall deeper and deeper under my spell. I knew that even a vampire as enchanting and beautiful and gorgeous and delicious smelling vampire such as yourself is still susceptible to the charms of a werewolf that looks like me in my current human form. Tonight just happened to be the night I finally made my move, and like clockwork, my plan worked like a charm. It was rather simple, honestly. I might as well tell you, since after this, you are going to belong to me. You are going to be mine to do with whatever I and my organization damn well please. Have you ever sent a postcard before? From a vacation or from your country to another country? Sure you have. You've sent them to dozens of your friends you meet on Discord who enjoy listening to PandastcASMR's vampire audios. Ironic, wouldn't you say? Well, your mail handler can easily read what you wrote, and trust me, they do, all by just flipping it to the back. Now, what does this have to do with anything? Well, just like your postcard. When you went to Starbucks every Tuesday afternoon and visit your friend who works at the airport on Friday nights and used the public Wi-Fi, your information, including your IP address, was open to anyone. Myself, hackers, government agents, even your own internet provider on your own private network, to be seen and intercepted before it got to their intended destinations. I know every single password for all your socials, even the ones that you gave me to contact you at. Every email you've ever sent, every private DM on Discord you've ever sent, and all your bank details. Anyone, any human for that matter, with the most minimal basic computer knowledge can do this because public Wi-Fi is unencrypted. It gets even better. Internet providers in the United States can legally sell your data to advertisement companies in the UK and Australia. They are required to keep logs of all websites visited, applications used, and even private conversations for up to 2 years. They can spy on you and even harvest your data to do with as they want. If only you were like me and had ExpressVPN, the world's leading virtual private network provider to protect you from werewolves like me. ExpressVPN would have put a stop to that by encrypting everything in addition to hiding your IP address and replacing it with one of theirs. They have over 3,000 servers in 94 different countries, so you could easily appear wherever you choose. Just like me. But it gets even better. Well, I guess in this case, for the better, the good better. Do you remember all those videos on YouTube that you couldn't watch because they were not available in your country? ExpressVPN would allow you to reroute your connection to a server in the country of your choice without having to pay an arm and a leg to fly out there. Speaking of which, all of your online purchases off Amazon and Etsy that I now have knowledge on, You could have bought them cheaper because online stores can base their prices on where you are in the world. I personally use ExpressVPN for the exact same reasons, and I also use it to make your backup, those three of the vampires that you associate with, those other idiots, think I'm in Japan, and how I was able to purchase this three-piece suit online for half the typical asking price from Men's Warehouse. And unlike your backup, they have 24/7 customer support, so your questions are answered within seconds and not hours. You should have actually read the description in PandastcASMR's description box for his link that gives his fans, like you, a special detail. expressvpn.com/PandastcASMR. But since you didn't, now you're mine, little bloodsucker. Aw, don't be scared. I'll make sure you're nice and taken care of. Should have used ExpressVPN. Was this all worth shopping for RGB headphones at Starbucks? Now you're mine. Shh. Go to sleep now, bloodsucker. ExpressVPN.